The city was cast in an eerie silence as John stepped out of his office, the fluorescent lights flickering behind him. The streets were desolate, shrouded in an unsettling darkness that seemed to swallow the glow of the moon. A cold wind cut through his coat, sending a shiver down his spine. He quickened his pace, longing for the warmth and safety of his home. The only sounds were his own echoing footsteps and the distant hum of a street lamp. The city that was usually teeming with life had been transformed into a ghostly realm. John's heart raced as his mind played tricks on him, imagining shadows lurking in every corner. His path took him down a narrow alleyway, the walls seemingly closing in on him. He felt an unexplainable urge to look back, and when he did, he caught a fleeting glimpse of something pale and translucent. His heart leapt into his throat as he strained his eyes, but the figure was gone, dissolved into the darkness. Brushing it off as exhaustion, he quickened his steps, the echo of his footsteps becoming a frantic rhythm. Every rustle of leaves, every distant creak of a sign became a chorus of dread. John's rationality battled against an ever-growing sense of foreboding. As he approached a dilapidated building, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. He paused, his breath misting in the cold air, his eyes scanning the shadows. And then he saw it, a figure standing by the entrance, draped in tattered clothing that seemed to dance in the wind. Fear gripped John's heart, his instinct screaming at him to turn and run. But curiosity mingled with his terror, anchoring him in place. The figure beckoned, its arm outstretched, and a voice seemed to whisper through the darkness. "Help me." John's voice caught in his throat as he managed to choke out, "Who are you?" The figure's head lifted, revealing hollow eyes that glowed with a haunting light. Its lips parted, and a chilling gust of wind carried its words to John's ears. "Find my locket. Free my soul." The figure pointed down the alleyway, and John's eyes followed its bony finger. At the end of the alley, a door stood ajar, revealing a dimly lit room. The locket, it seemed, held the key to this restless spirit's peace. With trembling hands, John approached the room, his heart pounding like a drum. He pushed the door open, revealing a scene straight out of a nightmare. Cobwebs hung in every corner, the air was heavy with an otherworldly chill, and a single, flickering candle cast eerie shadows on the walls. On a table in the center of the room lay a dusty box, its lid slightly ajar. John's breath hitched as he reached for it, revealing a delicate locket nestled inside. The locket itself seemed to shimmer with a soft, ethereal light. As he picked up the locket, a sudden wind rushed through the room, extinguishing the candle. The temperature plummeted, and John's fingers turned numb as he clutched the locket tightly. He felt a presence behind him, a weight in the air that seemed to press down on him. With a trembling hand, he turned around, his heart pounding as he came face to face with the spirit once more. The figure's eyes locked onto the locket, its gaze intense and desperate. "Please," the spirit's voice echoed, a mixture of pain and hope. "Free me." Gathering his courage, John slowly opened the locket, revealing a faded photograph inside. The figure's eyes seemed to brighten, and a soft, mournful sigh filled the air. The room grew warmer, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. The spirit's form began to dissipate, its features softening into an expression of gratitude and release. The room filled with a warm, golden light, and then the figure was gone, leaving behind only a sense of peace. John stepped out of the room, the locket still clutched in his hand. The night had lost its chill, and the darkness seemed less threatening. He made his way home, a mixture of awe and sadness lingering within him. As he slid the locket into his pocket, he couldn't help but feel a connection to the spirit, a stranger from the other side who had found solace through him. And as he unlocked his front door, he knew that the memory of that haunting encounter would stay with him forever, a reminder of the thin veil between the living and the departed.